trail last night, Harris touting a policy proposal.
We will continue our fight for working families of America, including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
The taxes on tips first brought to the presidential campaign trail earlier this summer.
We are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
All right, so you telling me that the first policy, the first thing that she stands on is no tax and no tips or no tax on tips from wages. That is literally, and I was trying to understand where I got that from. And thank you to you guys for sending me these videos. I was trying to understand where I had heard that from. And I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. This is Kamala's first policy. And then immediately I started getting emails from you guys. I was like, yo, Anton, this ain't new. Trump actually been saying this. And I realized that I had heard this during the Republican National Convention. And maybe I need to try to pull up that video. Let me see if I can get that up. I heard this during the Republican National Convention as far as her saying no taxes on wages and things like that, right? Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys really quickly in real time while we're watching this video, because I heard Trump say this before.
At the center of our plan for economic relief are massive tax cuts for workers that include something else that's turned out to be very popular, actually. Here it's very popular in this building and all those hotels that I saw that are so nice. I'm staying in a nice one. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips.
So I've been hearing Trump say this on the campaign trail, which if you're not an informed voter, you're not going to be a person that is aware of what's really happening, right? And so your understanding of what's happening on the campaign trail, because you're not an informed voter, you're not comparing and contrasting. You're not taking multiple different candidates seriously. And so what you're going to do is you are going to lean towards marketing from the left or the right, but marketing from the left that tells you that this is something new. You got to excuse me because I just got back from the gym. And I was just downstairs working out really, really profusely. But you're going to lean into thinking that this is something new when he was at the Republican National Convention talking about this, and he was on the campaign trail talking about this way before. So you telling me with all of these important, intelligent people that you have in your cabinet, and if you go to her website, that you see no policies whatsoever. She hasn't talked about anything that she would actually do for the American people. Everything is just fluff, is word salad, it's general. Oh my God, I love working class people. When the results show differently, when we show that the working class is not the priority, illegal immigrants are actually the priority, that American schools and our infrastructure is not really the priority. Ukraine and Taiwan and Israel is the priority. When they talk about the fact that she was in Michigan and she never even left the airport hangar, but they bust people in order to fill up the crowd, right? When you listen to all of this marketing and this propaganda, do you sit and do a compare and contrast? Because we live in an information age. It doesn't take much effort to do the research to realize that the only thing that she has to stand on is a policy that Trump has been championing since the beginning of his candidacy. He's been on campaign trail talking about this. And so the first time that she actually says something that she wants to do for the American people, she steals it from the Trump campaign. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And to think that y'all actually believe in this woman, that y'all think that this woman is going to be the next great thing is crazy. We have an example of what it is that she's done throughout her entire career. Forget the last 3.5 years. We have examples of how she's operating. And now she's leapfrogging off of the back of Trump and what they are doing and what they stand for. Because, and again, I think during the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow, I'm going to go through and I'm going to break down the different websites and I'm going to show you exactly what Trump's policies are And now that I have a lot more time to be able to deep dive and to really focus when it comes to this content creation game, I can have a better conversation with you guys to help you to understand what's happening. Now that we really, really are able to focus on the policies and the websites and do our research and look at all of the propaganda, and I literally did a segment today where I broke down and showed y'all how paid influencers that is now being invited over to the Democratic National Convention, which is going to be happening next week. They already there in Chicago, which has a shortage of over 2,000 police officers, and the officers that are there are working an egregious amount of overtime, right? Now that we can really find out and fact check, because nobody fact checks liberals, nobody fact checks the Democrats. The only fact checks goes over to, which they not even really honestly fact check, and they just putting their own spin on what it is that they think is happening. So their context is different from your context. But now that we have an opportunity to deep dive into this thing and find out what's really going on, we now are realizing that we getting finessed even more because she don't even stand on her own principles. And so the liberals and the conservatives are supposed to have different opposing views as far as how it is that they run in the country. And it sounds like she's gotten her ideas and her bipartisan agreement from Trump. So when I listen to these guys and these overly liberal men sit here and cape for a woman, because again, I understand how women are easily finessed and they want to be a part of something in the sister code, and because they didn't really have leadership the way that they was supposed to have leadership when they was growing up, they grasping for straws, and so they're looking for a community to be a part of. But men, we're supposed to, even though we have community, at the end of the day, we are our own beings, we are our own individuals. We supposed to stand for something or we gonna fall for anything, and that's not what we doing. We not doing that. We have completely gotten away from the very thing that's supposed to be meaningful to us, as far as us standing in our masculinity, leading our families, instead of just blindly voting based off of how your mama taught you to be because you're your mama's son. She stole the one policy that she stole from the Trump organization. That's crazy. But I mean, I guess it makes sense to me, because if you're going to steal something, you might as well steal from the person that actually managed the country more effectively in 2016 through 2020, where we was all balling and we was all prospering. And now it looked like the repo man is coming to get your stuff, but y'all leaning on her in order to be able to fix. Y'all really think that she going to save y'all? Y'all think that she going to save y'all? I can't wait. Listen, if she just so happened to finesse y'all into actually becoming the president of the United States of America, I can't wait, because you know who gonna suffer the most? I'm curious as to what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Thank you, Teach, for sponsoring us. And then you know what we do. We got the Q show tonight. That's going to be popping. We're going to have some conversations. Tomorrow, we're going to break down exactly what was happening with this Elon Musk interview with Trump. And we're going to get into it. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to support. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You never know when I'm going to go live or what's going to happen, but we absolutely are going to keep on banging y'all over the head with the best content ever, and getting through and cutting through all of the BS and getting to exactly what it is that's really happening in these streets. I can't wait to see what y'all say. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later.